Hey, so relationships, walking your path and honoring your path. Boundaries are important. It's important to know what your boundaries are and to know when you're allowing someone to overstep those boundaries. I'll give you a quick example. I set up some coaching with some fellow coaching students, and they wanted to know what time I was available. And straight off the bat, I said, look, I have a daily commitment to yoga and meditation at 7:30 onwards, so I can do anything before that. Now, in the past, a couple of years ago, I would have compromised. Compromising your excitement to fit someone else in. Now, don't get me wrong. Sometimes there's a little bit of give and take, but in order for it to be successful going forwards, it has to be a win-win scenario. It's no good if it's a win for them and a loss for you, where you feel like you're compromising too much than what you're willing to. Now, it's okay to have boundaries. It's a healthy thing to have boundaries, because when you allow someone to overstep those boundaries, it can lead to resentment and bitterness towards them, because you find yourself in a situation you didn't want to be in, and you're going to resent the person, you're going to resent yourself for allowing that to happen. In some relationships there comes a time to walk away, and that's just life. There's nothing personal about that. The problem is where we're building false allegiances, building an allegiance with the wrong people, and there can be a tendency to hold on to relationships when you know it's best to walk away, but it's a fear of the unknown, and no matter how much we get hurt in that relationship, we feel compelled to go back, and that's when confusion can set in. And an analogy being, it's quite a dramatic one, where you've not been hurt enough and they've not cut you deep enough, and rather than letting that wound heal and just taking a break from that person or going your separate way completely, we go back. So it's like picking up the knife to deepen the wound, and it keeps us in this cycle, and it's a cycle of the human drama, and the voices start in the head, the voices get louder, and the confusion sets in. We don't feel excited about looking after ourselves anymore. Things don't feel as worthwhile as they did. So it's like a drug, being addicted, like any other drug. So you're addicted to the feeling that you get when you're in the presence of that person, which is disempowering, because you don't need... Happiness is an inside job. So, I mean, the unknown, there's really nothing to be fearful of. The only thing you'll discover in the unknown is more of yourself, and sometimes you do have to walk away in order to bring the new people, circumstances into your life. Now, this can be taken out of context. I'm not suggesting you should just drop your relationship and walk away, you know. I mean, this is something you have to do your own self-inquiry to discover whether that is truly the case or not. You know, sometimes we run around seeking advice, and a lot of the times it doesn't really work. Sometimes you do have to get to the point where you're absolutely sick of the situation before you'll make what you know is the right decision for you. Another scenario that you can find yourself in is where you're You find yourself unhappy in the present, and so you attempt to recreate your past. So you get in touch with the ex-partner or the old friends that gave you a lot of trouble in an attempt to recreate the past. And especially when you're getting in touch with an ex-partner and you might find out that they've moved on, they're with someone, or they're just not available right now. Or maybe you even do pick it up again, but it's the same dynamic and it doesn't work. You can end up hurting yourself again, and then what you'll do is you can find yourself reaching for the next available drug, typically alcohol, cigarettes, and what have you, when you could have just continued to move forwards and do the things that you find exciting. So this takes us back to compromising for people. And I've done this. I was in a relationship and I gave up my martial arts class to be with that person, because I felt that, okay, I need to spend some time with this person and make it appear like I'm making time for them, basically. But they don't respect you for it. People don't respect you when you give up your passion for the sake of compromise. We teach people how to treat us. So if we don't respect ourselves, if we don't respect our boundaries, how can we expect other people to respect us when we don't respect us?